Hello and welcome to the Microsoft Megabyte podcast for April 22nd, 2021. Today, we get to talk about something new, something fresh, something exciting. Yeah, we're talking about Surface Laptop 4. And to do that, we needed to invite a true insider. So welcome, Malix Guinan. Did I do that any justice, Malix?
Sort of.
Thank you for being the first person who's been honest about that. Usually they'll say, yeah, pretty good, Brian. Okay, so listen, please introduce yourself so that I don't screw it up again.
No worries. Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Alexandra. I go by Malix Guinan, and I'm the Surface Laptop PMM.
Okay, so she shortened down that title, but just so we're clear, that means Malix is the Senior Product Marketing Manager for Surface Laptop. So that's why...
That is accurate.
See, so I don't get your name correctly, but boy, do I got that title down. So we are so happy to have you here to give us the insights we need to help demo and sell this incredible new device to our customers. So seriously, we appreciate that you're here to talk about this.
Happy to. Thanks for having me.
So, Malix, let's get started here. I mean, we've all seen the product announced, and a lot of the people listening will know the basics of laptop, you know, the journey that it's been on, how much customers really love this device. So I just want to sort of open it up to you initially. What would be those top three-ish things that you'd want everyone to know about the new Surface Laptop?
So assuming that everyone knows and it's familiar with Surface Laptop and what it means and how beautiful the device is. So of course we didn't change the design. So that is what we added is a new color, which we introduced with Laptop Go and people love. So that ice blue color, but in terms
Alex,
of
can I interrupt you immediately?
Yes.
Because you actually just stumbled on something I think is so important, which is you said, of course we didn't change the design. I would love to hear your insight into why not. I mean, I think a lot of us listening would think, well, with every new revision, why wouldn't there be a dramatic new design? So why wouldn't you change the design for this?
So this is the fourth generation of Surface Laptop, and we have changed the design a little bit in the past, but we continue to get praised. People love. So if you go back to Laptop 3, which we didn't change the design either, people love the design. The accolades from what we got in Laptop 3 was this is one of the most beautiful laptops there is.
Yeah.
So we wanted to leverage that, and we continue to get praise. So we lean on that design, and which is working, and it's still modern. It's still sleek, light, thin. The invisible hinge, it has that accessibility with the fact that you can open it with one finger. So there was so much thought put in the design to begin with that it made it last. So up until the day, the design is still relevant. It still feels modern. It still feels new. So what we do to the design is bring those elements like color palettes and things that make it feel refreshed, but still leveraging or leaning on the things that people love about it.
Awesome. Now, I interrupted you because you were talking about the things to know about Surface Laptop 4, but I thank you for going in deep there about the sort of the design philosophy and the approach. So in addition to the design, what would be the other, one or two things you'd want everyone to understand? If they walked away only knowing these things from this episode, from this podcast, what would they be?
So as I said, we continue to share as a design, which we are super proud and we continue to get praise and love on. But the things that we really innovated in this is performance, which not only we made it more powerful, we know that people are multitasking more than ever, especially working from home. You get to use your laptop in different ways and pull up so many running Windows, Outlook, and Teams, calls, and even personal stuff, right? So we deliver more power with the new processors in this device than ever before. So your device is snappier, is faster, and can keep up with you in your multitasking. Yeah. The other thing is the battery life. So on Laptop 3, we used to have 11.5 hours of battery life. And with this device, we have up to 19.
Whatever. Not 19? That is insane.
19 hours. Yeah. And one thing, to be quite honest, because we started most of the development of this product, we've been working from home, right? So I would have thought working from home, people wouldn't care about battery that much because you honestly have unlimited access to plugs. You can walk around your house. And we did research because, of course, when you launch a new product, one of the things you do is understand what people care about and how you communicate the things. And battery life, which we know before COVID, when we had a normal life, battery life is always at the top for any device that we test. That's something that customers look for, and that's top priority. We were curious about with that change in this year where people are less mobile and you're again, access to unlimited plug-in throughout your house. That didn't change. People continue to want that flexibility. And what we think is like people want to have the flexibility to work. Yeah, they may be home, but they still want to go to the deck, to the porch, to the living room, back to the kitchen, back to the home office, and not have to be walking around the house with a charger. Being able to deliver up to 19 hours is a huge improvement. It's the longest battery life that we have on the Surface device.
It really is. And I think when we talk about Surface to our customers, to our associates, when we're training them, we talk about it as that sort of North Star for the PC aisle, for really everything else, for what a PC can be and what the best of Microsoft really can look like. And so when you're talking about just a supremely important spec like battery life, to be able to talk that kind of number is really helps justify that story of this is premium, this is the best of Microsoft. So I think that's very exciting.
Last, in terms of what else we did to Surface Laptop 4 is the audio, the sound. We have always talked about the Omnisonic speakers that we have underneath the keyboard, which if you hear design talking about it, you will feel their passion about how proud they are that they don't have to put speakers that you can see, yet you get the surrounding and the immersive sound coming from the keyboard. So we still have those Omnisonic speakers, which are signature Surface speakers, but we bump up the audio from Dolby. So in Laptop 3, we used to have it's called Dolby Audio. And with Laptop 4, we moved to the top of the tier, kind of the top notch, the premium of Dolby, which is Dolby Atmos. And Dolby Atmos, what it does is really makes that experience even more immersive. We call it a cinematic sound. We have a really good demo that we hope that it lands on retail and everywhere, in which you can, if you're watching your favorite show on Netflix or Hulu, Amazon Prime, you will feel the immersive sound. You can kind of feel the helicopter flying across your head, or someone speaking from the back. So you kind of get that 360 in which you're immersed in the scene, which is great. And again, it's even more relevant these days in which we're all at home and devices have become not only your tool to work, but also a way to entertain, right? Like I'm in my house with 4 other people and we don't have 4 TVs. So more often than not, we are using our devices to like, okay, let me watch my stuff on my laptop, on my bed or my couch. And I don't have to give up on the volume or on the audio experience. I can watch my thing and having a really good immersive experience, even if I'm watching on my laptop and not on a whole TV.
That's excellent because, yes, as you mentioned, in this weird hybrid working environment that we're all living in right now, things like camera quality, speaker quality, display quality, all those things are taking on a new life and a new meaning. And I think those Omnisonic speakers, if you've never experienced this yourselves, you simply must. It's one thing for Malix and I to sit here and talk about it and tell you about how neat it is and the engineering that goes into it. But until you really sit in front or stand in front of a gorgeous laptop that seemingly has no speakers whatsoever, and then you have an experience where sound somehow just emanates and comes from all around you and the device, and it's directed at you, and it just sounds incredibly rich. It really is something to be experienced, and it's a really powerful demo for any customer.
Yeah, and I want to build on what you said because I skip on it because I try to focus on the things that we changed with Laptop 4. One thing that it really talks about how we made this journey on laptop, right, is and why it's one of the most successful products in the Surface family and the one with the highest satisfaction is because when we looked at it, we really try to balance all the key things that were important to consumers. And by doing that, we really put a lot of thought in the typing experience, in the camera quality. So you get a front-facing camera that it's not just the piece of hardware that is built into the device, but how it's being tuned in the back end. So it does a pretty good job on adapting to lighting, especially low light condition, which again, it all turns out to be really, really handful in this world where we are working from home and we don't have the office grade lighting that make you be seen clearly on the other side.
Yes. Yeah.
So you sometimes, and this has happened to me, you have to run and hide from your kids in a darker area so you can have a conversation or a meeting, and having a camera that kind of adapts to that lighting condition and picks you up so you can be seen well on the other side is key. So with Laptop 4, we're keeping all those things that we originally signed it for, making sure that it's still relevant. There's still top-notch premium features, right? Like, let's not forget about the fact that you have this beautiful touchscreen display, which is high contrast. It's touchscreen, so that enables that natural interaction. It's inking enabled, which is something that we actually don't talk a lot, because if you were to go for a full inking experience, of course, we have other Surface products that are better suited for that, like the 2-in-1 or Studio or Book, in which versatility enables that great inking experience. But just to be honest, like, again, back to this world, digital world, like, I've gone through refinance my house, taxes now twice, and having the ability to do all in my laptop, right? Like, I have to sign with a pen, so my signature actually looks like my signature and not like a doodly that no one can understand. It's key. And like, if you compare that to other products that don't have that inking experience, the experience for the user would be you have to print out those documents, sign them up on paper, scan them back, and ship them back, right? Like, you're now making this so seamless and easy. Just like, I review, sign up, and send back, and do quick markups when I'm reviewing a contract, like, no, that cross this, change that, quick comments. So that inking actually has something that has become super, super relevant this last year too.
Yeah, I often say that even if it's a Surface laptop device, if you're talking to a customer and they're not quite sure if inking or touch is meaningful to them, just try to understand the number of times they switch from their laptop to their phone so they can quickly mark up a picture to send it to a contractor or to send it to a client. Just to quickly draw a rectangle around the area of the siding of the house that needs improvement, or the yard, or the financial document that needs. Those key moments, even if it happens twice a month, will be such a boon in terms of the value that shows to that customer when the time comes that they need that touch device.
Yeah, exactly.
So Surface Laptop 4 comes in both Intel and AMD processor options. So that's very exciting for us. I'm sure there's a lot of interest in that from our listeners. So can you just sort of double click into those differences and what that means for this product line?
Yes, totally. So we actually introduced AMD last time with Laptop 3, right? We brought them to the family with this Silicon Diversity, and we offer Laptop 3 and Intel for the 13.5 and AMD on the 15. So of course now it's been over a year and something, and we have some learnings about it. And one thing that we learned a lot is people love the choice. And actually the ask was like, why don't you offer both on both sizes? Which is what we're doing with Laptop 4, which is we extended that option to, we work with great partners. Both of them have really good processor. We chose kind of the best of the line for this product. And we're giving the options to have both the 11th gen Intel on 13 and the 15, and the AMD Ryzen Microsoft Surface Edition processors, again, on both sizes, the 13.5 and the 15. And they're both really good. They both deliver, exceed the expectation in terms of a speed and performance. We say that we start with 70% faster than Laptop 3. So with Surface Laptop 4, you're getting 70% faster performance than Laptop 3, which is really, really good. And again, the processor also has the way that we tune the processor also enables that battery optimization along with the performance. So you not only get more performance, you also get a lot more battery life.
I've heard a lot of associates in store talk about the Surface family in the kind of the context of, oh, look, the Surface Studio is so crazy with the amazing big screen, and it goes down and up on that crazy hinge. Surface Book detaches and swivels around. Surface Pro and Surface Go have these amazing hinges. The Surface Duo is this 2-in-1 device. And then there's Surface Laptop, which is beautiful, premium, polished. I mean, it genuinely seems like it's engineered to be pristine. Yet, when looking at it, it is a quote-unquote traditional clamshell laptop. So I want to hear from your perspective what role that plays in the whole, Surface family ecosystem altogether, and why the Surface Laptop 4 represents something that so many customers want.
Yeah, totally. And I think you hit the nail with that, which is the fact that we have that innovation, right? We established Surface Pro was our first product, and we established a 2-in-1 category. And versatility has been part, and also innovation, right? If you look at our Surface line, there's innovation all across, as you mentioned, like the the 2-in-1, the Book with the detachable screen, the Studio with the 360 hinge. But we also realized that there are a set of customers that want ease of use and simplicity, and they're looking for a laptop that also speaks innovation, design, and edge. And that's what we delivered with Surface Laptop 4, with Surface Laptop line in general, but we continue to do it with Surface Laptop 4, which is bringing that innovation and design to a classic clamshell for those who want just a simplicity and ease of use, but don't want to compromise on having a product that looks beautiful, that looks innovative, that looks cool, style, and again, that it performs as well, right? Because we have the best in terms of processors inside, and as we talked about it, it's a really good device in terms of performance, battery, and the features that it brings.
Okay, let's get down to brass tacks for a minute. Let's talk about personalization. What are the sizes? What are the options? What are the colors? What are the materials? What's the lay of the land for a Surface Laptop 4?
Alcantara is something that is signature, and I see this as an innovation in the laptop category, right? The fact that you have a laptop that is not just all metal, which is what is used to be the common on the category. Alcantara brings that softness, a different touch, which I'm a big fan of Alcantara. But we also know that there are people who prefer or think that a metal is more durable, and they prefer that. So we offer both. So you have the choice on which way. I definitely love the feeling of typing on an Alcantara device. And then color, that's another thing. And again, if you look at who we target and what people look for, this is a laptop, this is a device that people love carrying around, and having options for color, from being very classic with your matte black or platinum to something a little bit more sandstone, which I love I love how classic it looks too, and now ice blue, which has become one of my favorite. We introduced that color in the laptop family with Laptop Go. Of course, it's in the metal finish, but now we brought it to Laptop 4 with the Alcantara, and I love it.
You know, if you're ever interacting with a customer who interacts with clients themselves, I often say that of the entire Surface family, the Surface Laptop 4, especially with these color options, are just that, I don't know, when they have the performance, the battery life, all that's there. Of course, it's a premium, high-performing device. But man, those colors, like you mentioned, the sandstone, the ice blue, when you show up to a meeting, when you show up in a boardroom, I know I've certainly seen this coming back when meetings used to be a real thing. And you show up and there's people with their gray devices, their silver devices, their black devices. And then there's that amazing ice blue color in the corner. I mean, it really does just stand out. It's a gorgeous accessory in addition to being a premium device. I think that's part of the whole Surface Laptop story, isn't it?
Yeah, you're totally right. I think it makes you look different things, right? You look professional, you look kind of top of the game, edgy, and you stand out. You have a device that looks beautiful, premium, that grabs people attention to, right? It's different. It's not your regular black or platinum, which again, it's very classic and elegant, but then you have colors also to meet some personalities as well. There are people who want something different to match their style, and we definitely provide those options.
Well, if you could provide something for my personality, that'd be great. I'm looking for something that looks sort of like bright red with some clown face and some heavy duty makeup and some things that just don't make sense, and perhaps some colors that give you a headache. That would be good for my personality. Can you do that?
You probably need to look somewhere else. This is a premium brand.
Okay, so it's not all about Laptop 4, though, is it? Because Surface Laptop 4 has a smaller sibling. So tell me, how does Laptop Go fit into the greater story? I mean, Laptop Go is a very impressive product for a lot of different customer types. And I'm just curious who Laptop Go might be for and the use cases that it's been developed for.
Yeah, totally. So we launched Laptop Go, what is it, like a few months, last October, right? So it's only been a few months. We launched it in 3 beautiful colors. If you look at Laptop Go and Laptop 4, you wouldn't, I think you said it, they're siblings. They look pretty close to each other, and that was on purpose. We wanted to it's a family of laptop. It's a lower price. Laptop Go, the way we talked about it, is the lightest and smallest and most affordable laptop. So it's a good way to get to the laptop family. So you do get the benefit of a beautiful premium device. Edgy, a cool style device. It has a 10th generation Intel processor. So it delivers a really good performance too. and it can handle all those day-to-day activities. So of course it's a 12.4 touchscreen display, so you do get the difference versus a laptop 4 and a laptop Go. Of course there's pricing, right? Like it's you start at $549 with laptop Go, you start at $999 with laptop 4, so there's a price gap there. But there's also a size, so laptop Go is really good for younger kids who may not carry a laptop 4 in their backpack, but also people who probably are spending most of the time docked, or who want actually a smaller device because the mobility part of their life is the most important thing. You do get the premium feeling and premiumness where it mattered the most, but you do get more premium on laptop 4. Like talked about audio, you get Dolby Atmos on laptop 4, you get longer battery life on laptop 4, you get inking on laptop 4, you get touchscreen and doodling. You can kind of input with your finger on laptop Go, but you don't get the Surface Pen experience on laptop Go. Typing is actually pretty good on laptop Go. I think the team did a good job optimizing for typing, given that you have a smaller footprint, but it's not a backlit keyboard. So you kind of get those type of differences between the two, but it fits pretty well the family, especially for the price point.
Okay, so then beyond the devices themselves, Surface as a family of devices, or as an ecosystem, Surface as a brand has some pretty awesome accessories now. So what excites you about the Surface accessories lineup when you're thinking about laptop Go and laptop 4?
Yeah, and I actually used to do this job for accessories, so I'm quite passionate about accessories too. So do you have another hour? So one thing is, Arc Mouse is beautiful, and I don't know if you've seen, but we have not only the Surface color, kind of the perfect match color to the ice blue, the sandstone, of course the platinum and the black, but we also have other colors that are Microsoft colors in the Arc Mouse, and I love Arc because it's so innovative, and it's still very comfortable mouse. Then you have the mobile mouse, which is a smaller footprint mouse, is still keeping that elegance and matching the colors. My personal favorite are actually the Microsoft ergonomic mouse, the Bluetooth mouse, because I am a hardcore ergo person, and I have it. I'm spoiled. I have it in pretty much every color, and I love it. And then one thing that it's a must-have, I say, for and in fact, when we launched laptop 4, we run an offer with that is earbuds or headphone pairing, because it's especially you can actually benefit even more that Dolby Atmos experience that we've been talking about when you're wearing a pair of headset or earbuds. That transfers to the headphones, so your experience is even more immersive. And for video calls, for watching video, for gaming, having either earbuds or headphones is a great experience, makes it for a great experience. So that would be my top ones. And of course, the other one that I keep super handy is the USB-C travel adapter, because it gives me even more ports to connect more stuff at home.
Yeah. I remember in years past when it first launched, and then Surface Laptop 2, we kept doing these trainings where we had to try to explain and convey to people just how it felt to type on a Surface laptop, how the scissor switching mechanisms and how the keys actually responded, and how the keyboard felt, how the Alcantara felt on the wrist, and just how the display welcomed you in as you opened it with one finger. And those are all things that you and I can kind of just wax philosophical about as we talk about it. But until you sit down in front of one of these devices and actually use it and get that holistic human experience while using it, I really don't think you can properly demo it to a customer. You got to give it a try.
It's hard to explain. You're totally right. Those are things that are delighters. When you use, you're like, oh, I don't know how to put it into words. It just feels so good.
That's a perfect soundbite for this episode. Before we go, I just have to get some further insights on just the Surface, the Surface business and the design itself, because so much is always under lock and key until we find the information on a new product release or something. And every time I talk to someone who's on the Surface development team in some capacity, the love and respect for the design process is so clear and evident. And so I'm curious, Malix, from your perspective, what have you encountered along the way as you've been working with the Surface team? And what kind of decisions have you witnessed or been part of that helped really define what a product is? And you sort of saw the beginning, middle, and end of that process of here's a situation or here's a problem, here's how we're going to engineer a resolution, and here's how it's received at the customer's end. I know I'm sort of all over the place with this question, but do you kind of get what I'm asking?
Yeah, no, totally. And so one of the things that since I joined this team is the passion for creating cool, different products. And I know, back to what you said, you just find out the day off or a few weeks before we announce new things, but we spent more than a year, over a year working on these products. I would say even like 2 years ahead of time to start looking into what's in the future, how are people going from all sorts of angles, like from what are people doing with the devices. So some telemetry data to see how they're using the device. What's the industry? Where's the industry going? What are the next cool things? What are the experiences that we want to enable? And now that I've sat down in some of these brainstorming sessions, it's amazing. Like there are some ideas that come up, like, is that even possible to deliver? So of course there's a lot of like innovation and passion to deliver new experiences. And at the end of the day, of course, when we start shaping the product, what's really most impactful for the user, for the consumer, like what are people looking for? Cost too, right? Like you have to keep that in mind. Like there's certain things that you could potentially bring it, but it will be super expensive, not worth it. So balancing all those things. So getting to know your customers, how they're using the device, the data that we have, and also how can we embed new innovation and new cool experiences that people will adopt and will become a norm, right? Like, and you can see that with the 2-in-1 category, the inking, the touchscreen. So those things now they're like a commonality in these days, right. But it used to be like not very common like 10 years ago, right? So it's how do we envision those things to make it accessible and become one experience that becomes like your day to day. Like I cannot live without it.
Malix Ganand. Now, how did I do with that one? Was that closer?
Way better. I can see your learning curve.
Oh man, this whole episode, I haven't been listening to a word you're saying. I've just been practicing that over and over again.
On the back.
You have provided us so many insights on the Surface family here. This has been awesome, and I know we're getting now into dinner time here for your time zone. But sincere thank you for giving us your time, insights, and sharing sort of these perspectives. Because again, everyone out there listening is involved. They're selling, demoing, influencing the Microsoft ecosystem at retail. And these insights that you provide really help move that customer conversation along and really help to inspire them about what's possible and achieve more. So thank you again so much for your time. Really appreciate it, Malix.
Thank you, Brian.
This has been the Microsoft Megabyte Podcast, a training tool for Microsoft field team members and sales professionals across the country, produced by Microsoft employees.